What is up, my fellow sports fans? Happy New Year. Meant to post on Christmas. Here I am, January 4th. That's just how it's been recently for me. It's been a whirlwind. It's like, say, day one sober. It's not like I horribly relapsed or anything. I'm still, I should know this, doing a podcast about sobriety. And I'm like, how long am I sober? So it's funny because I always use the word sober. I haven't had a drink in 324 days since Valentine's Day. There was a time in there I made it 77 days without smoking. So I was completely sober for 77 days. Things were, of course, looking a lot better then, but it's been up and down since then. But I mean, never have I been fully tapped in. The point of sobriety is so that it's pretty much everything boils down to inner child stuff. I grew up in Marin County, very affluent area, had two loving parents, thought everything had it made. Turns out and I'm like, I didn't have abandonment issues. I'm above that. Turns out my parents both worked. So if I had a nanny from 0 to 6, that means every day I've got these two loving parents who were taken out of my life, and I'm left with a nanny from Nicaragua who doesn't speak English. Of course, that's got some sort of abandonment wound there. Like, I'm going to be like, oh no, what did I do to make them leave me? So that makes me a needy little kid. Then whenever something is threatened, whether your baseball coach is mean to you, your girlfriend's mean to you, it brings you back. You have there's a term for it. You have a little flashback. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to lose them again. And so then that's where addiction comes in. So I'm lucky. It could have been worse for me. My mom actually broke her back when she's 25. So she's been on pain meds her entire life. So even though she doesn't get high from them, she just uses them for the pain. She was still on them. So she was pregnant and taking them. Therefore, they were given to me. And it's not like meth or anything like that, which apparently is really detrimental to the size and growth. I'm a big dude, 6'3", 180. Sorry for the douchey pick. I don't love my smile, so I try and take attention away from it. But yeah, it turned out okay that way. But apparently, obviously, you give an addictive substance to a mom that's then fed into the baby. So then the baby is born with that. So I'm more likely to be an addict growing up. So I didn't become an addict in that sort of way, but I'm horrible with sugar, which I'm also going to try and cut out. So when I say sobriety, I'm going to go no weed, no alcohol. So I smoked weed yesterday. But I'm not going to release this until once I'm 30 days. They say it takes 21 days to break a habit. So I'm going to be at least 21 days completely clean and sober before I share this. For some reason, there's that stigma on people can't smoke weed. You can't talk about that. I'm big on LinkedIn. You can't smoke weed. So weed is legal in so many states. People talk about drinking alcohol like it's nothing. It's in all our shows, but weed is oh, you can't smoke weed. And so we're scared to talk about it. But then people literally will smoke weed for cancer. And I for a long time thought weed actually wasn't that bad. There's a lot of alcoholics in my family. So I was I'm going to be addicted, or I'm going to use weed as my number one, not alcohol. So I did that for a while and then fell down the rabbit hole, both of them. Anyways, point being, it takes 21 days to break a habit. So I'm going to break the habit of all those. I'm going to have no alcohol, no weed, no coffee, no refined sugars, no masturbation, no video games, limited sports usage. So I will still watch sports. I will still talk about sports, but I'm not going to be checking my fantasy team first thing in the morning, which I unfortunately did this morning. But I'm not perfect, but I'm going to get there. I'm not perfect, but I'm going to get a lot better. I'm going to strive for perfection, fall short, and be really happy with where I am. Anyways, today's day one. One thing I want to preach is the next best thing. So the reason we reach these things is we're feeling empty on the inside. So you're going to video games because you're unsatisfied. So I played lots of video games growing up. There's a reason I lost my virginity at 25 because I had it I was decent enough looking person, college athlete. Everyone's like, oh, Graham must have it. So I didn't do what was needed to take that next step and connect with a girl. I always figured I could if I wanted to, but I saw the traumatic fighting that my parents did. So I was oh, I don't want that. So I pushed away women, relationships, getting deep, made jokes, deflected. And by doing that, pushed away what I wanted. So then I didn't really want anything until I was 21, 22. By the time I wanted it, I didn't have the skills to acquire it. And I had this pushing, pressing energy, forcing it, trying to make it happen. Whereas you just have to let it go. So my perfect example for this is the Aaron Judge home run ball. He took forever to hit his 60-second home run. He kept us all waiting, which is good because no one watches baseball. So he hits his 60-second home run in Texas. So most of the fans there are either Rangers fans, probably not, just people trying to get the home run ball. Like most Yankees fans, not really Yankee fans. I was in Brooklyn for work a couple weeks ago. I'm from Cali, so I'm a Yankees fan. Like, oh my God, yes, Kid in the Candy Shop. They just signed Judge. They just signed Rodon. Like, what's up, y'all? Everyone's wearing a Yankees hat. They're all just for show. None of them are actual Yankee fans. So anyways, all the people in this game, it's going to be like 40% real Texans fans, 10% real Yankee fans, maybe, and then 50% home run ball chasers. So everyone's up there. He hits the ball. Everyone's like, please come to me. Please come to me. Everyone's got this pressing, needy energy. If I need that ball, I'm going to sell it. And of course, tall, good-looking, regular, normal dude sticks his hand up, gets the ball. Probably he's left-handed, probably right-handed. 87% of us are. And of course, the guy who catches it is a hedge fund manager. Absolutely loaded, doesn't need the ball, but it's because he's in the feeling of gratitude in receiving. It's natural for him to get it. He's not even expecting to get the ball. He shouldn't have as much resistance about it. It's not that pressure. That's why you hear the same people winning the lottery over and over again, because they're not scared. They're not pressing. They just, I put my number in, I let go, see what happens. They say let go and it all gets done. It's a perfect example of that. I highly doubt that dude was sitting there praying. I'm not saying prayer doesn't work. Prayer absolutely works. But the way a prayer works, I've been praying for sobriety recently. You pray for sobriety. Dear God, please keep me, my girlfriend, and our beautiful child safe and sober. You pray and you let it go. You don't sit there thinking, oh my God, I gotta be sober, because that makes you anxious, and that anxiety makes you want to calm down with something. That also brings me to the next best thing. If you guys don't know who Abraham Hicks is, look her up. Her name's actually Esther Hicks. Her and her husband, Jerry, did some amazing work. They would actually meditate, and she would feel like downloads from the prophet Abraham about what to do. And one of the things she talks about is next best thing. Ignore your reality, create your desired reality. So if you've heard the phrase, history tends to repeat itself, it's because it does. My parents both had substance things. My dad, an actual user, and my mom just for pain. And they're both in sales and stressed. And I was like, I am not going to be a coffee drinker. They are miserable without their coffee. I'm not going to be in sales. I'm not going to be some 9-to-5 dude. So of course, lo and behold, fast forward 30 years later, it's exactly where I am. It took me a long time to get here. I was in the restaurant rut for a while, but I was just kind of going with the flow, seeing what happens. And when you do that, your history is likely to repeat itself. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% of them are negative. So you're not going to just transform your life without you need to do something. You need to change it. You need to have active change. And you can't be stressed about that change. It needs to feel calm. So now I'm going to meditate for 30 minutes every day to start my day, hop on here, tell you guys how it's going. So as I said, next best thing, if today, it's not like I'm getting jitters or anything from smoking weed, but I'm a little life sucks. So you got to do whatever is needed. So I got up, pet the cat a little bit, did some dishes, wrote a cute note to the girl, went out to go to work. I had said I'd meditate 30 minutes every day. I meditated for 17 minutes, told her I'd meditate after my meeting. She's like, no, be a man, do what you said you would. So I will. Next best thing is I didn't start it right, but then I got to the co-working space that I'm at here, meditated for 30 minutes, and now creating content. And that next best feeling I'm talking about is, I'm going to miss that. But you think you're going to, and then you change your habits and you don't. So I can now go to a bar and watch football because my Giants aren't on regular TV, get there at 10 in the morning with all those depressing people drinking, and it's not alluring to me anymore. You see it for what it is. So even though that donut caught my eye now, in 30 days or 21 days, once I've been working out, waking up every day, meditating, doing as I always do, drinking lots of water, I will get farther and farther away from the energy of wanting that donut. So I look forward to sharing this journey with you guys. As I said, I already have the jump start on alcohol. I also haven't, it's hard to even say it. It's like, so like, I'm like, oh, who's going to hear this? Only people who like me. So don't be scared to share, buddy. Haven't watched porn since Valentine's Day either. So those two I've got to jump start on. I have had spurts of no weed. I got into 35 days recently. So I'm really looking forward to the sugar one has been the real toughie for me, and then not checking fantasy too often. So I'll still keep up with that sports content, but I promise I will keep up with the working out, staying strong, staying sober, staying clear-minded, maybe putting some notes down after my meditation. Because when I was meditating, some downloads were coming through about what to say. I was like, oh, it's going to be fire. Like I had the Abraham next best thing. And then that was supposed to like lead to something else that didn't get there. It's supposed to lead to the judge. And it's all a little rambly. So I look forward to seeing where it's at in 30 days. Hopefully that douchey flexi pick, I won't do any more of those the next 30 days, but in 30 days, it'll look even better. The thoughts will be clear. The skin will be clear. We'll do some juicing. So onwards and upwards, my friends, onwards and upwards. Day one, just getting started, gets better and better. Keep your head up. Love you.